Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is a how to build for Narberal Gamma, who is one of the new collaboration characters with the Overlord rerun. She's basically the maid lady, like the assault maid who you see in the second season when they do the adventurer arc sort of thing. She's one of the other adventurers that adventures with Irons, and she's now in the game. CC is actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you, GeForce Experience. That was unnecessary, but thank you. We'll have a look at her stats. Overall, her stats aren't bad. 68,000 CC when all her outfits are leveled up. She's not true awakened. Is pretty good, especially for a character whose stats aren't really the best. She is, I think, the third highest CC collaboration character we currently have in the game, which is very good. Just under Demiurge, and then above Demiurge is, of course, still the Queen, Vittoria. She's still #1 for CC. I don't think... Maybe the next collab might break that record, we don't know. Pierce rate 100%, decent. Resistance, pretty standard. Crit chance is actually very low. I think they designed her more for a PvE orientated. That's the reason why 108 crit chance is acceptable. If not, for PvP, average characters got about 80 to 100% crit resistance. Means your crit chance can anywhere between... Your actual critting chance can be between 20% and like 8%. It's still going to be the best. And some characters, she won't even be able to crit because her crit chance will be lower than their crit resistance, which is kind of bad. Her crit damage is surprisingly high for very low crit chance. So 232 base is quite decent. 89 crit res is like standard, but still on the lower end. Crit defense 100% plus is like good nowadays. It's like standard. 13% lifesteal is actually quite high. Of course, she doesn't have the damage resistance because she's not true awakened. I may true awaken her, I may not true awaken her. Onto a single target, which is Electric Blast, damage equal to 200% on one enemy. What Electric Blast is, basically when they have either a shock debuff or her shock effect, it increases the attack related stats by 25% for each shock. So it can stack. If you do have both, it can stack, which means if you're lucky, or not if you're lucky, but you can get a 50% attack related stat boost when you attack with it, which I guess is okay. But once again, 50% attack related stat boost, if you were to look at it crit chance wise, it should still only be 158% with all outfits, which is not very good at all in comparison to Demiurge, who turn 1 has 151% crit chance with all outfits. She requires 2 debuffs to be applied. One of them only lasts for the first 2 turns, the other one can only be applied when you play an AoE skill. Multiplier of the skill is 200, 300, 500, and she has an AoE pierce skill, which is standard AoE pierce. So 100, 150, 250, and you got her ultimate, which is increase all allies' basic stats by 30% for 3 turns. Then inflicts power strike damage equal to 600% of attack on one enemy. Power strike is a very good skill, it works everywhere, and I feel like she was more designed for the new bird. I have tried her on there, and I keep getting really unlucky runs where I just don't pull any Thor cards, so I sort of gave up after about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes of trying, because it wasn't really worth my time any longer. I wasn't recording it, it was more just for a test run. Her passive, at the start of the battle, shockwaves are applied on all enemies for 2 turns, then the attack of unknown race allies are increased by 10% for each unknown race ally participating in battle. That's a turn 1 40% attack boost, which for places like Demon King, like I did in the video earlier today, is absurd. 40% attack boost turn 1, mix that with Albedo, turn 2, maybe even turn 3, looking at 120%. 120k attack on Albedo, which is absurd. Like, that's a lot of attack for Demon King. But yeah, that's not bad. When the hero uses an AoE skill, it applies a level 2 shock. I think that means like a shock from this skill. I'm not sure if they set like a base damage. I'm not too sure how that works, but that's what it says. Effect when the hero uses an AoE skill, effects for 2 turns and increase unknown allies damage dealt by 20% against the enemies with the shock or the shock effects. Okay, I think it's to do with any effects that have the word shock in it. So her shockwaves effect and the shock debuff itself. 20% increased damage dealt for unknown race allies, plus you mix in the 40% attack boost. That's a lot of support for a character. She isn't really doing much. Bear in mind, her ult also gives everyone 3 buffs as well: an attack buff, a defense buff, and a HP buff. You're looking at lots of buffs. What does Albedo want? Lots of buffs. So I feel like maybe for Demon King is where she's going to really shine. I have tried on Demon King and she was quite good. Unfortunately, I had to get quite unlucky, and I wasn't able to really showcase her the way I wanted to. But I might make another video of me properly showcasing her, maybe with someone else on the team. And then her relic, which is, I guess, it's very very subpar. Increase allies' basic stats by 3% for each shock or shock effect on the enemies up to 12%. Basically, a 12% basic stat boost. You're most of the time going to get at max. You may, I think turn 1 is the only time you can get the 12% boost. You AoE turn 1, you've got 6 shock effects, so it's immediately the basic stats you would want. So you need to, I think this is only like a turn 1 thing, that you're actually getting the 12%, of course, unless it's Hero Arena or it'd be 4v4. Then every time you AoE with her, basically, you'll be giving your allies a 12% basic stat boost, which is kind of nice. Onto her gear, I've got an HTB defense, attack crit. She doesn't have enough crit chance for me to warrant giving her an attack crit set. Plus, also, she gives herself 40% attack. And what does attack gear give? 40% attack. So basically, I'm running attack defense gear with also HP gear as well. Passive gives her the attack. If it's 4-man up, which is mainly the place you're going to be using her, you're not really going to be using her no, you'll be using her in Demonic Beast. In PvP. You won't be really using her in PvE, so it doesn't really matter, really. Outfits wise, these are the 2 paid ones, and then you got the diamonds ones here, which this is actually one from the show, which is Narbe the Adventurer. That's the reason why I kept calling her Narbe, because that's something I remember as in the show. But yeah, this is the Adventurer arcs. This outfit, I really like when they do stuff like this. I think it really suits the characters. Once again, weapons, I've only leveled up the UR ones, and headgears I leveled up this one just to get her above, was it 77k? Sorry, 67k. Relic-wise, stats, 380 attack, which is, yeah, it's okay. It's on the higher end. Defense, pretty standard, 300, kind of middle. And same with health, kind of middle as well. Bear in mind, she's got a lot of CC. I think most of that probably comes from her basic stats themselves. I feel like she's got quite good stats. If I was to max out her last headgear, which I might do now, just to see if I can get to 200k health. Oh, there goes lots of my resources, but here we go. Can we get to 200k? Close. Oh my god. Okay, if I was to upgrade to a relic, she would be at 200,000 health with not on a team yet. And I feel like she's going to be more of a support character in Demonic Beasts. I do definitely believe that she was sort of in mind for the new bird. Maybe we'll have a new character that will also be quite good for it as well. Once again, Thor's a staple of the team. Miguel is a staple of the team. You know, we add Narbe on this as well, and then we add someone else on top of that. You could have quite a half decent team. The only problem is, of course, is that bird is extremely unbalanced and extremely not fun to play because it needs to be farmed and you don't guarantee any of the drops, basically. But overall, she's pretty good. I'll do a quick damage test with her. I'll do a AoE, so we'll just do a golden AoE here. I'll play all her gold skills, actually. That's not bad. It's just a pierce skill, it's got no effect. This has the 50% attack boost. 100k, not bad. And then which will give us the basic stat boots, which is... Well, 71k is not bad. It's not bad. Especially because this buff is not just for her, it's for your entire team, so it's more of a supporting ult, and it's Power Strike, which means on quite hard demonic... Well, not... Yeah, on quite hard demonic beasts, they normally have like an insane defense boost, like on the bird, or on Demon King, where he has an insane defense boost for the first, like, few rotations of the rule. You know, if you get the ult off, that's quite a bit of damage, because of course it does more damage, equivalent to the enemy's resistance, which is kind of nice. But anyway, that's it. Narbe's pretty good. HP defense is the way to go. She's probably the one that you can get away with being 1/6 though, because her buff does not go any higher with her ult level. It's stuck at 30%, which is why she's quite good. That's the reason why I think she's going to be like a PvE character, because her ult much doesn't change. It's 30% the whole way through. Of course, the multiplier does, but it doesn't really increase by that much. 250% or 50% a level isn't too much in comparison to like Freya's, which is like goes to like 1350, I think, at 6/6, in comparison to like a 700, 800 at 1/6. But no, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next one. Goodbye.